Roy says, "お願いします." Please join me in Gasho. Naman knobs, naman knobs, naman knobs, naman knobs, naman knobs, naman knobs. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our June Shotsuki monthly memorial service. Are you okay if I don't wear the mask to speak? I think we're far enough apart. It just makes it easier for people to hear on Zoom as well. So, and good morning to those who are joining us by Zoom. It's great to have all of you who are attending in person here at the temple. And it's also nice to have you here joining us by Zoom. So we will begin this June Shotsuki service with a moment of silent meditation, followed by the recitation of the name of the Buddha or the Onembutsu. Namanobs, 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 namanobs. Next, we will be having the reading of the homage and the three treasures, which you'll find on page 11 of your purple Satan. It's on page 11 of the purple Satan. Or if you wish to watch, look at the screen, it's on the screen as well. Homage. Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we are hearing them. If we do not gain emancipation in the present life, we may not be free from sorrow in the ocean of births and deaths. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. Everyone, we go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. Everyone, we go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Everyone, we go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida-butsu. Namo Amida-butsu. Next, we will be reciting the Bandhana Tisarana. And in your purple Satan, it's on page 325. You want to follow using the Satan. And it's also on the screen here. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. Dhamman saranam gacchami. I go to the Dharma for guidance. Sangam saranam gacchami. I go to the Sangha for guidance. No one knows. No one knows. No one knows. And now we will have the sutra chanting. We will begin with the chanting of the Sambujo. In the purple Satan, it's on page 89. And following that, we'll be chanting the Sambutsuge. Now, when we begin chanting the Sambutsuge, for those who are here at the temple, on the screen will come up the names of the Shotsuki individuals that we are honoring. And when you see your loved one's name come up, if you wish to come up, please come and offer incense when you see their names come up on the screen. And for those of you who are not here necessarily for Shotsuki, if you wish to come up at the end after the Shotsuki people have come up, please come on up and offer incense. Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Namandavs. Mujo Minanyorai Ni Jo Shaganyorai Niuno Jo San Monyorai Niuno Jo Sange Please join me in reading the English translation. We respectfully welcome Amida Buddha to our temple as we scatter flowers of joy. We respectfully welcome Shakyamuni Buddha to our temple as we scatter flowers of joy. We respectfully welcome the Buddhas of all times and places to our temple as we scatter flowers of joy. This morning, we have gathered here in the quietude of Amida's temple to commemorate the June 2022 Shotsuki monthly memorial service, in which we remember loved ones who have passed on to the Pure Land during this month. We faithfully recite the Nembutsu and humbly join our hands in Gasho. May the fragrance of incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of the glory of the Dhamma. And may the lights that burn brightly upon the altar lead our thoughts to Amida's eternal light of wisdom and boundless compassion that dispels the darkness of our ignorance. 무연하샤 니지가드마니 주거에뇨 감치노베 주먹 뇨라요게 조세머리 쇼가그다요 어르지모 바이모요지 사마이치에 이덕금으려 신정 나이제네 조በ드오가이 그진진노 그거가이다이 무묘요근으 세도요무 니노시시 진노금으려 그근거다이 지혜지명 도묘이소 신도다이세 강가사붓 자이쇼 아노조지 미흥에다 어세조이 가이니조지 뇨세사마이 지혜이조 고세도급은 의교시가 이사이그 이사다야 대시읍은 야그세 노그마 무요나이쇼 신여고자 그여이사이 지도셔붓 은여근노 겐저흑약 인여거자 저부드세가이 무가게 무슈센드도 보묘시셔 헨시요곡 요세저지 이진난려 료가사붓 오그도다이 거시기며 도저조셋 오그녀나여 님으도서 가노아이미 도다드이사이 지보라이쇼 신내드조조 이도가곡 대라그안노 오무드시며 내가 신쇼 오즈간노히 니기쇼쇼욕 지보세송 지혜무게 조료시서 지가신겨 계려시시 조그도그즈 가교조지 ninyu Namanabu 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 묘도세이사이 도드보다이시 오조 안라고 No one knows, no one knows, no one knows, no one knows, no one. Please join me in reading the English translation, which you'll find either on page 79 of your Seiten or on the screen. Sambutsuge translation, praises of the Buddha. Your face shines in great splendor, boundless, wondrous dignity. Such the greatness of your light, beyond all comparison. Brightness of the sun and moon and the shining money jewels, when compared to your brilliance, seem to us like blackest ink. Tathagata's countenance transcends all comparison. The great voice of awakening resounds throughout the 10 quarters. Your precepts, learning, effort, meditation, wisdom are virtues beyond all compare, ultimate, supreme, and rare. Your deep meditation has fathomed all the Dharma seed to the limits and the depth of all things the Buddhas teach. Ignorance, anger, and greed, the world honor one has none. Like a lion among men, measureless your great virtues. Vast are your great virtuous deeds. Your deep wisdom is profound. Your radiant, luminous light shakes all the world's foundations. When I become a Buddha, equal to the Dharma King, I will transcend birth and death, liberating all beings. My giving, discipline, precepts, patience, and effort, meditation and wisdom shall be supreme, unsurpassed. When I attain Buddhahood, everywhere fulfill my vow, bringing peace and tranquility to all beings in doubt and fear. Though there are myriad Buddhas beyond measure, beyond count, and great sages numberless, like the grains of Ganges sand, I will honor each of them equally, accepting none. Even more importantly, I will seek the supreme way. Even though all Buddha worlds are countless as Ganges sands, even though all lands and realms are boundless without measure, yet my light shall reach them all and illumine every place. Such shall be my perfect work, such my power infinite. When I attain Buddhahood, my land will be first and best, place of practice, transcendent, its people sublime and rare. My land is like nirvana, beyond all comparison. In my sincere compassion, I will enlighten all beings. All who come from 10 quarters to be born into my land will be pure, filled with gladness, peace, and great tranquility. O Buddhas of the 10 quarters, this my true revelation. In this way, I've made my vows, and I will strive to fulfill them. Buddhas of the 10 quarters, with your wisdom unimpeded, may I always call on you to reveal my intentions. Though my body undergoes so much pain and suffering, I will persevere and strive patiently without regret. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, let me just stop sharing this. There we go. Okay, and good. You don't need to see me on the TV. So for those on Zoom, I just shut off the monitors here because the people here don't need to see that. Anyways, once again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Shotsuki monthly memorial service, a time in which we honor our loved ones who have passed away during this month of June. I wanted to share with you just at the beginning of my talk, we get this magazine regularly here. It's called Tricycle. Has anybody heard of this? It's a Buddhist publication, right? A regular Buddhist publication. And recently I was reading through it, and there was just a very brief, interesting article, and it was on a very simple sutra that was written at the time of the Buddha. And basically, it tells of, in this sutra is the teaching words of the Buddha, okay? And so in this particular sutra, it talks about 4 practices for bodhisattvas. Okay? Bodhisattvas are individuals who are on the way to attaining enlightenment. The bodhisattva is a being who forgoes their own enlightenment until all beings can get enlightened together. Okay? And so, as part of that, the Buddha said, here are 4 practices that bodhisattvas should try to follow. And first of all, he said, the bodhisattva should cultivate an aspiration for awakening as long as they live. Okay? Bodhisattva should cultivate an aspiration for awakening as long as they live. Bodhisattva should maintain spiritual friendships as long as they live. Bodhisattva should maintain spiritual friendships as long as they live. Bodhisattva should practice patience, openness, and kindness as long as they live. Okay? Practicing patience, openness, and kindness. And finally, bodhisattva should spend some portion of the time dwelling in the wilderness as long as they live. Right? These are 4 practices. Right? 1 is the aspiration for enlightenment. 2 is to maintain spiritual friendships. 3 is to practice patience, openness, and kindness. And finally, spending some time in the wilderness. So the reason why I mentioned this today, this morning, we've gathered here for the Shotsuki Memorial Service. And this is a service, as I mentioned earlier, a time in which we remember loved ones who passed on. But it is also a time when through our loved ones, they are giving us an opportunity to come and listen and to learn. And hopefully go out of those doors just a little bit wiser than when you came in. Actually, I don't know if that happens or not, but it is a time for us to listen. And so these bodhisattva practices, although they aren't directly talking about our Jodo Shinshu teachings per se, are very important to all of us. Okay, so first of all, this cultivating aspiration for enlightenment, trying to modernize the teachings is very important for us. So my job, part of my job as a minister, is to understand these teachings and try to make it relatable in our daily life. Okay, and so what does it mean to cultivate an aspiration for enlightenment? What this means is that never lose that desire or that aspiration to learn from your experiences. Okay, I've mentioned this a number of times in different Dharma talks, but there was this is a number of years back now, but I just happened to catch a television show on Oprah Winfrey. I don't watch Oprah regularly. I never did, but I just happened to catch it because it caught my eye because they were talking about Okinawa and how the people of Okinawa had the longest longevity on Earth. And they were trying to find out the secrets of that. And one of the things, there were 2 things. One was hara hachibu, which means 80%, eating only until you're 80% full. And that's a mantra that they use. So when you think you're about 80% full, stop eating, right? That was one. And Oprah really liked that one, right? But the other one was to find something in life that makes you happy. And always try, and it doesn't have to be anything grand or anything like that. It's just something very simple. But if it brings pleasure to you, if it enriches your life, it's something that you should have. So this can be tied in with this aspiration to cultivate aspiration for enlightenment, is always striving for that higher consciousness. So when we come here for the Shotsuki service, yes, we're here to remember our loved ones, but it's also a time to expand our minds, to think a little bit more, get outside of the box of our daily routine, and to think about what it is or why we are here, what it is, what does life mean. So that's the first one, cultivating aspiration. Maintaining spiritual friendships. Now, this is very interesting because, first of all, one of the interesting things about the temple is that we have people from all walks of life coming, right? Some of you, well, in the days gone by, we would have had a lot of fishermen here, but now we have a lot of people from all aspects of life, of different ages, but we all gather together in the one space, and we can share this time together. So spiritual friendship is very important. And also for Shotsuki, this is very important because our spiritual friendship does not end at the parting of death. We're here to remember loved ones who passed on. And yet, they're very much a part of who we are today. So this spiritual friendship goes on even after we pass away. And also, as I mentioned, this spiritual friendship, we accept, everyone is accepted here as we are. In fact, 3 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago, I was over in Manitoba Buddhist temple. And they use as their theme for their temple, it's the theme of what Amida Buddha said. And that is, come as you are, come as you are. So in this temple, everyone is welcome and accepted just as they are. Whether you're young, you're old, you're Japanese, you're non-Japanese, whatever it might be, everyone is welcome. And that's what a spiritual friend is. We don't have friendships because of our jobs or because of our status in life, etc. But everyone is inclusively welcomed as a spiritual friend. So maintaining spiritual friendships as long as we live, very important. Practicing patience, openness, and kindness as long as you live. This is something that we all can aspire for. And as we come here to the Hondo, I'm sure everyone, all of us, have our own anxieties, have our own ups and downs throughout life. But when we come into the Hondo, we calm ourselves. Incidentally, I tell this to people when they come to do the meditation practices, but in our Buddhist traditions, rituals, right? When we come to the temple, we always chant as part of our practice, right? You notice the chanting today as well. But the chanting actually is very important from a practical reason. So there's always a certain order to doing things. And the chanting always comes before the Dharma message. And there's a specific reason for that. You may have felt it as we chanted, but when you come into the temple, your minds are still, or part of your minds may still be out there. You're thinking of this or that, or I've got this appointment later today, or whatever it might be you're thinking. But as you chant, interestingly enough, your mind settles. It becomes focused on here. So probably by the end of the chant, your attention is completely on here. Okay, so that chanting helps us to bring us focus, to bring us, calm us, to center us so that we can listen. Okay, and that's what the temple is. It helps us to center us. Patience, openness, kindness. These are all things that we emphasize as we come to listen to the teachings. And finally, it says here, spend a portion of time dwelling in the wilderness. This does not mean everyone has to go out camping. Okay, although I personally like camping myself, but it's not what it's talking about. It means to spend some time reflecting by yourself. Okay. And that's also very important in life, is that so often we're just on go, go, go basis that we don't have time for reflection. And so where you have wilderness, and of course, this is taught during the time of the Buddha. So it was very easy for the mendicants and the monks to just go off to the wilderness. Not so easy in the heart of Richmond or Vancouver today. The temple acts as a refuge. The temple is a place where you can get away. And so we also have regular meditation times throughout the week. But even if you come here for the Shotsuki service, this is a moment to spend for yourself, to think about your life. Again, to refocus on where we are. And so as we gather here to remember our loved ones, we also realize, thanks to them, they're giving us this opportunity to think about what is important in my life, refocusing on my life, and grounding myself again to what is important. So those four Bodhisattva practices are something that I think we can all aspire to live by. Cultivating an aspiration. Remember, try and always expand your mind. Maintaining spiritual friendships, realizing there is a place where we're all accepted as we are. Practicing patience, openness, and kindness. And finally, spending some time reflecting on your own. And so, out of gratitude to our loved ones who have given us this opportunity, and also to the Dharma, in particular in our temple, to Amida Buddha, who constantly guides us and sheds this enlightenment to us, we put our hands together in gratitude and recite the name of the Buddha. And so at this time, I'd like to ask you, please join me again as we recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. And so finally, we will close our service with the singing of the Ondook Sun, and I'm just going to bring it up for those people at home. The Ondook Sun, for those of you who are here, is on page 307 of your purple seika. Thank you. Please be seated. Just a couple of announcements. There actually will not be a service next Sunday. Instead, we have a general cleanup. We had the health inspector come to inspect our kitchen, and they found some things that need to be cleaned out. So, and we have to do it before he's coming back on the 28th. So before that, we have to do the cleanup, and we need this inspection cleared because we have Obon coming up in July. And so next Sunday, there's going to be general cleanup from 9 a.m. Anybody who's willing and able to come on out, we welcome you. We could use the help in the cleanup. And also, so that's next week. And then after that, it's basically regular schedule. We will be having our Obon service in July. July 16th, we'll be having the Bon Odori. It will be a little less smaller scale than we've had prior to the pandemic. We want to open it up, but we don't want to go overboard at it yet. So it will be done at the front here, okay, this year. Also, for those interested, and I don't know if the applications are there, but we are going to Vancouver Island for the annual Obon Cemetery Tour, and that will be August 11th to the 14th. This year marks the 80th year since the Japanese Canadians were forcibly interned in interior BC and further east of that. But as part of that, the BC government last year announced a redress or reconciliation to the Japanese Canadians. And earlier this year, we were given the Japanese Canadians, survivors of the internment camp, were given $2 million, of which for the BC Vancouver Island Obon Cemetery Tour, we received a grant for $9,500. So that allows us to make the cost of the trip a little bit more reasonable. If you were a survivor of the internment camp era, it will be $750 for a 4-day all-inclusive trip, transportation, hotel, as well as food, all inclusive. And then it's $800 if you weren't a survivor. But we hope that we have a bus, 56-seat bus, and we're looking at a maximum of 48 people, I think it was. So there are some applications, I believe, by the newsletter out back there. So if anybody's interested, please pick up an application. And it's a really heartwarming trip. We go to a number of places, Cumberland, Nanaimo, Port Alberni, Chemainus, Duncan, Victoria. And so we travel throughout Vancouver Island. And it really is a wonderful trip. So if you want to come and join us, please do so. Okay. And the tea is being served by the Fujinkai ladies. So please enjoy the rest of your day. And if you haven't picked up, or when you come to pick up your homyo, don't forget to pick up your homyo, but make sure double check you take the right one home. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to those who joined by Zoom.
Thank you very much, Sensei.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
So we'll do it on Father's Day.
Bye.
It's the 19th.
Thank you, Sensei.
So I'll send out a message to everyone. Thank you, everyone, on Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.